Right. So it's 7:38, almost 7:40, and I have a good meeting at 4 p.m., which means I just have about 20 minutes to do this. So I just want to share this. So I was walking by the street and I had this location that I just wanted to sit down and share this message. And you realize that the street is so noisy. So, currently, if you can hear the noise, but I'm trying as much as I can to make the noise, noise very minimal so that you can benefit from this video. So in this video, I just want to share with you how I was able to secure um, admission with funding into one of the I1 universities in the US. And I have about 20 minutes to do that. So I think the first thing I did was to first reach out to people who had been here already, who were already into the system and understood how the system worked. That meant that I needed to have the right information to begin with. So if you're starting out and you don't have the right information and you have preconceived, misconceptions about how difficult it is to get through the visa process, about how difficult the US system is, and you feel like the China is easier to do, or well, whichever you do. I mean, I'm not saying which one is better or which one is easier. I'm just saying that you don't need to have those preconceived biases towards any country. You just have to have an open mind and shoot out. You can apply to as many as 10 schools across the world. It doesn't matter. What matters at the end of the day is you have the opportunity that you're looking for, but not limiting yourself to those preconceived biases that you already have. So that's the first thing. Yes, having an open mind. So which obviously I did. I had an open mind. I didn't care about how difficult it was for either of those systems, how difficult it was to pass through. I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about how difficult it is to pass through and all that. But you never know. Just have an open mind. Shoot out as many as you can and just put it out there. You'd never know which one works out. So that was the first thing. I was able to reach out to people who were already in the system, and then they explained the system and how it works, and I was able to understand, that I could apply to as many as I wanted, even though I took that risk of applying to just one school, which is currently where I am. But I feel that if you have that open mind and, kick out all those biases, you'd be able to apply to any school of your choice and, any country of your choice. And then you'll be able to make it there eventually. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, once you have those people that you've reached out to and, have that open mind, the rest of the work is on you. Don't expect someone to do that work for you. I mean, traveling outside the country is not a favor. How do I put it? It's not something that you should just wake up one day and expect that, oh, it happens, bum, and then you're leaving the country. No, it doesn't happen like that. You need to work it out. There's a lot of work in this process, so you need to be able to work that process out. No one would go online, search for schools, and then share them to you. Oh, these are schools that have funding, and then if you apply to those schools, then you get in. In fact, there's one interesting thing. One of my friends said from Nigeria. He said that if you apply to any of the schools that were recommended to you, there is a high chance that you may not get into all those schools, which is practically almost always true, right? If you have suggestions from people who have already been here, mind you are not the only person they are sending those schools to. They are sending those schools to a lot of people, right? So do the work yourself. Go do the research. Don't expect hand me down schools that you just take them, apply them. No. This is a full-time work. You need to work your ass off. Like work like it's a full-time job, right? Put in all the effort. Do whatever you have to do to just make it work. Don't expect that someone would come from somewhere, send you list of schools. No. And sometimes it gets me really frustrated, really disappointed, and really sometimes angry, right? You will be there, someone expects that because you're here, you must have done something to get here. The only thing everyone who gets here eventually does is that they work their ass off. And I have a friend who is standing right in front of me, who was passing by, who is standing right in front of me. I'm sure if he were to give his own testimonies, it probably would be the same thing. Usman, please come once again. Please come. Oh, he said he doesn't. No, just speak out. Let them hear you.
Continue.
He said I should continue. All right, fine. So, it's you have to do the work, right? You just have to put in the work and do all that. So that's the most important thing. If you reach out to me and I start giving you the guidelines, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, oh, it is difficult to get in the US. Already, I'm pissed. I'm just I'm not happy to help you already because of what you said. It means you have a very limiting mind. One, you have no research to back all that you've said. Two, you are lazy, right? You are lazy practically. You are not willing to put in the work. If it's difficult to get in, what about those who have got in, right? Does that mean that they have two heads or four heads, or like, what are you trying to say, right? So just don't have that limiting mind. That's the one. First, second thing, if you expect that I should send you schools to apply to, I probably wouldn't do that, right? There are only a few friends that have recommended schools, right? Few friends, very, very few friends that have recommended schools to. And I did that because I understood their credentials. And sometimes I just also had to go out of my way because those people were really people that I really wanted to help. But even with those people, there is only one person who has really made me proud of how much he has done after I've walked him through all the process. He took it upon himself to do his own research, do more in-depth research, and apply to a lot of schools. And he got into some. He had funding for some others. He's still negotiating and all that. So if you get in touch and you have a lot of excuses, it just pisses me off, and I probably wouldn't be able to help you as much as I wanted. So that's the second thing. The third thing is you need to have an abundance mindset. And I say this, which sounds very cliche, but you just need to have an abundance mindset. And abundance mindset here, in terms of your resume, in terms of your statement of purpose, in terms of your recommendation letters and all that. So now let me explain. When I say have an abundance mindset, so if you look at typically where we come from me, example, coming from Ghana, you realize that a lot of people who have their resumes, the Ghanaian style, it's more task based, right? I was the product manager, so I delivered this product. I did this on a daily basis. I organize meetings and all that, and it's more task based, right? But here, people don't really care about what you do on a daily basis, right? They care about your accomplishments. So what have you accomplished in your day-to-day activities? So maybe you were able to send, for example, if you are a product manager, so you delivered a product that breaks in about $100 a day or $100 a day. It really doesn't matter the quantity. It matters the result of that impact. So if you're doing something that yields $100 a day in a month, that's about 3 times 100. That's like 300. That's like 3,000 bucks, right? So if you accumulate that for a year, that gives you the largest sum, right? So these are the abundance mindset I'm talking about. What can you achieve, or what have you been able to achieve in the course of the number of years that you've been working, right? So that's the one in terms of the resume. Yeah, that one is a statement of purpose. No one cares about you not being able to eat today. You grew up in a very bad home. Yeah, just keep that sad story when you have the opportunity to share your life story after having gotten, then you can share all those stories, right? The most important thing to share is you can link how that beginning of your life, or that part of life that you really face those difficulties, you can link that to how you have been able to move out of that difficulty, or how you have been able to do something for yourself regardless of that difficulty that you were in, right? But no one really cares about how stuck you are in your past, how stuck you are in not being able to cater for those proper stories. Just leave them for someday when you get rich, then you can tell those stories to whoever you want to tell them to. Like we do in Ghana, when you become rich, then you create some stories and say that you wash 5,000 plates a day and all that. So you leave those stories when you become rich, then you can tell all those stories. So that's the abundance mindset. The third thing I shared has to do with recommendations. Now, recommendations here doesn't necessarily mean that someone you reported to. Recommendations here would mean that someone who has worked with you and can attest to the fact that he or she worked with you, and not just working with you, but was able to identify some highlights, some pillars in your life, some pillars in your career that is worth mentioning, right? So if you work with someone, even your subordinate, even though it's not really advisable, but if you work with someone who really was probably your colleague, but then you probably work on a project together, you can make that person write a recommendation for you. Side stories, make it personal. Don't just write anything generic. Don't go to ChatGPT how to write a recommendation letter, copy the format and insert. No, don't do that. Just have it personal, make it so personal such that it doesn't really matter how whoever is reading it would feel that, oh, this is really personal, like this person has really worked with this person. And again, I had a conversation with one admission director on this channel, right, that she said, Megan, I'm sure I'll probably put it in here. She said that it is advisable to have it on a letterhead, right? letterhead. It's advisable to have it on a letterhead, right? So just try as much as you can to make it really official, really formal. So that is the third thing. The fourth thing would probably be, and again, I'm just freestyling this just to make good use of that time that I have. The fourth thing would probably be that you should explore as much as you can, right? And when I say explore here, I'm not talking of exploring just one particular school. I'm talking of exploring, a number of schools. So if you, if granted, I'm in NCSU, right, and you know that I'm in NCSU, and then you speak with me and you understand that, oh, these are the processes, or if you watch this video, you understand that these are the processes that I used and passed through that was able to get me here. Leverage on those ideas, those tips, right? And then explore other areas. So if this is in North Carolina, how about South Carolina? What schools are there that give funding? What schools are there that they give graduate assistantship or merit-based scholarships and all that? Move to North Dakota, move to South Dakota, like move to Memphis, like try other new states. Try other states that have California State, we have Arizona State. Like just explore. Forget about all those biases that people tell you that, oh, this place is too hot. No. Or this course is not good. Nah, just forget about all those things, right? There is no course here that has accreditation that is a bad course. If it were a bad course, it wouldn't be really, offered in the first place, right? So explore, try different things, and don't be stuck to your new ways, right? If you had a research paper on probably let me be careful so that I don't see something that hurts my friend. I mean, let me just say. So if you have if you have a research paper, he probably wouldn't even watch this video in the first place, right? So if you have a research paper that talks about child abuse in your undergrad or in your masters, and you're looking for professors to be able to help you in that field for your PhD, right? Don't go looking for the same topic that you've done, child abuse, child abuse. There are many sectors, or there are many diversifications that you can look into, right? Child abuse in this, child abuse in that, child abuse in, there's a lot of things that you can, explore outside of child abuse, or even within child abuse, right? Which would make more sense to the child abuse that you're looking at, right? So don't be stuck in your own ways. Don't say that it's child abuse I want, so if I don't get it, I'm not going for my PhD, or if it's child abuse I want, so if I don't get it, then all hell break loose and all that. Explore what other areas you can look at sociology, the sociological, the psychology of child abuse, the sociological aspect of child abuse, the anthropology of child abuse. There are so many areas that are related to your field that because you haven't explored it, then you may have no idea how good or how interesting it may be. Right. So don't be stuck in your old ways. I think I'll stop here and just prepare for my meeting, and I hope you enjoy from this. In the future, I'll try and make this very comprehensive, spell out the things, the do's and the don'ts, and make it more interesting for you to enjoy this content. So if you're watching, just hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.